It is 39 times more deadly than the average job. Hey guys, what's going on? Megan here. In honor of International Men's Day, here's a good video for you guys. The top 10 most dangerous jobs in the world. Keep in mind, these are jobs that have an extremely high death rate compared to the average job, of course. And they're obviously jobs that most people don't want to do, right? Let's be honest, most people don't want to do those jobs, but they are extremely important for society to function. Without those jobs, we collapse under disease, chaos, ruin, you name it. Now, obviously, because those jobs are so hard, they're not for the faint of heart, right? And let's see the male representation in those jobs, right? Let's see how important men are to society, right? So let's see. We're going to start with number 10 and go down to number one, which is the most dangerous job in the world. Number 10, we have underground miners, right? Which is obviously a dangerous job. I mean, I have claustrophobia just from looking at this shit, right? And sure enough, the death rate is extremely high. And we're going to compare the death rate to the average, which is about the average death rate for, most jobs is 3.4 for every 100,000 employee, right? So that's average. For underground miners, 6 times more dangerous than the average job, right? And gets the male representation in that field. 98% male. 98% male. Women, as much as we try to get them into those positions, they say no. And I don't blame them. I would say no, right? So only the toughest, boldest, most masculine men tend to take those jobs. Obviously they don't want to. If you give them $1 billion, they will quit the same day, right? But again, somebody has to do it. So once again, much love, much respect to the guys out there who keeping society functioning for the rest of us. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And ever since I was a child, you guys were my heroes and still are. Next, drivers, especially truck drivers. Very dangerous job. Obviously, a lot of accidents. Again, this one is 8 times more deadly than the average job and 93% male. Let's keep going. Now, just imagine what would happen if all of the truck drivers decided to quit overnight. It would be chaos. There would be famine. There would be riots, supply chain issues, you name it, right? No food, everything would break down. So once again, big thanks to the truck drivers out there. We value you all, we respect you, and we appreciate you for keeping the world going for us. Next, structural iron and steel workers, right? 10 times more deadly than the average job. 10 times, not twice, not 3 times, 10 times more deadly than the average job. And guess the male representation. Keep in mind, this is structural iron and steel. Without those guys, everything collapses, obviously, right? They build the infrastructure of our society. So whenever you see a skyscraper, whenever you see a building, an apartment complex, anything that requires the use of structural iron and steel, we have those guys to thank, right? And again, it is 10 times more deadly than the average job. 99% male. 99% male. All right, let's keep going. Next, waste removal and management, right? So that's your people who work in underground sewage, your garbage collector, anything that has to do with waste removal, which obviously is crucial for society to function because without these guys, we'll have the Black Plague will return. We'll have plagues, we'll have disease, we'll have epidemics. Again, this one is also 10 times more deadly than the average job, and the representation is about 89% male, depending on the position, of course, because there's many positions within those jobs. The dirtier and harder and tougher the position within that job, obviously the male representation increases. Unsurprisingly, right? Somebody has to do it. So once again, we love and thank you guys. Next, most pilots and aircraft engineers, not just commercial flights, just pilots all around the world. It is also about 9 to 10 times more deadly than the average job, and the male representation is 94%. Let's keep going. Construction helpers, right? Construction workers, trade helpers, whatever. 13 times more deadly than the average job. And the representation is 95% male. Without those guys, once again, we will have no infrastructure. Society will collapse. No need to explain why. Next, roofers, right? Something happens to your roof, who do you call? Right? Again, this is 14 times more deadly than the average job. And the male representation is 97%. 97%, which is insane. Once again, big shout out, a lot of respect to our fellow roofers. Next, military. In my opinion, the most important job in any society. Because, as I mentioned in the previous video on quote unquote toxic masculinity, without the military, we are done. We are done. For you guys out there who don't study history, please take at least, you don't have to study for years like I did. Just take a month and dedicate it to studying history. Study what happens when a society is nice and functioning and then the barbarians pull up at the gate. Your women, your mothers, your sisters, everybody you hold dear gets kidnapped, raped, enslaved, killed in front of your very eyes if you do not have a strong military. In fact, the reason why we don't understand how important the military is because our military is that damn good. Think about it. They are so good at their job that we think that we don't need them. But anyway, I could make a whole separate video on the importance of the military, which blows my mind that I actually have to emphasize how important the military is. Because you literally have people out there saying, defund the police, defund the military. Why is the military getting funded so much? And I'm like, you f***ing obnoxious piece of shit. You spoiled brat. Defund the military? Are you kidding me? Look at every nation that did not have a strong military. Look what happened to them throughout history. But anyway, 24 to 29 times more deadly than the average job. Depending obviously on the position. Obviously, you know, your ranking is going to play a huge role. The actual job you perform is going to play a huge role. But again, it's 24 to 29 times more deadly than the average job. And these are the men that keep us safe at night. Whether we agree with the politics or not, whether we agree with the reason why they joined the military or not, I don't care. I don't care. I'm grateful that these guys exist. Thanks to them, North Korea is not at our doorstep. And sure enough, the male representation is from 82 to 95% male, again, depending on the position. You guessed it, the higher the death rate in the position, the higher the male representation. The tougher the position is, the more dangerous the position is, the higher the male representation. Especially if you go into the elite forces, it's way over 90% male. So once again, much love, much respect to our fellow veterans and to our fellow army men. Next, loggers, which obviously without them, society will also collapse. Because, think about it. We use wood for everything. From building to, anything you could think about can directly or indirectly be tied to the work that these guys do. And it is 27 times more deadly than the average job. That is the second most dangerous job in the modern world that we actually have data on. And it is 98% male. Look at this badass guy over here getting shit done. So he could go home and feed his family and be told that he has toxic masculinity because he's strong and ambitious. And number one, fishing and hunting. Imagine, if fishermen and people who got us fish and that went out and hunted. Imagine they all quit. Now I know the vegans would be happy, but most of us wouldn't, right? And it is 39 times more deadly than the average job. Fishing and hunting combined, right? 39 times more deadly than the average job. This is actually the most dangerous job in the world. Who would have thought, right? Because as you guessed it, these guys are out at sea. There's so many things that lead to injury and death. Some of them fall overboard. Some of them freeze to death. Again, machinery issues. It is the most dangerous job in the modern world. And it is 92% male. So that's it, guys. These are the 10 most dangerous jobs in the world. I could keep going. I have a list of up to 100 or something. So if you want, I could make a part 2 and show you number 11, number 12, number 13, whatever. And you guessed it, they are dominated by men. In fact, the safest jobs in the world, such as, kindergarten teacher, secretary, dental assistant, are over 90% female. And once again, this is not an attack on women. They should pick those safe jobs. Even I don't want to do a lot of these tough masculine jobs, So this is not an attack on women because we need women. Like I always say, 100% of these men were birthed and raised by women. So we love our women, obviously. The only reason why I'm emphasizing the importance of men is because men are the ones who are under attack. Nobody's attacking women. Everybody knows how important women are. Like I said, if the boat sinks, we let women out first, right? And I agree. women have the number one most important job in the world, which is to carry on the human race. Without women, the human race disappears in 100 years, right? So we give them their flowers. But please, can we stop disrespecting men? Can we stop disrespecting the job, the role that men play in society? Without these guys, these unsung heroes, right? These guys die every day and we don't even know what their name is, right? Without these guys, everything that we hold dear is gone. So can we please respect men, and can we stop, blaming men for the mistakes of the 0.01%? So any man that is watching this video, any young men out there, you are important in today's society. Continue to strive for greatness, continue to compete, continue to go up in status, continue to provide. Again, I'm not saying that you have to do one of those jobs to be a man. That's not what I'm saying. Wherever you are, whatever job you choose, I don't care if you pick a feminine job, right? As long as you contributing to society, as long as you're doing your best to make the world a better place, much love and respect to you. All right, guys. Once again, happy International Men Day. Team 3D Alpha, we out. Alright guys, don't forget to like or share the video, subscribe and hit the bell, and buy my HSP Nucleus Overload Training Program. It's the ultimate program for maximum muscle growth. It includes full body workout splits, bro splits, push-pull, home workouts, you name it. Also comes with a complete guide for macros, nutrition, fat loss, muscle growth, hormones, including a meal plan. It's pretty much all my 16 years of experience condensed into one fucking book. You're also going to get free copies of any future edition. So visit team3dalpha.com and you can use the 40% off coupon code Nucleus Overload. Or you could just buy the shit at full price. Alright guys, I'm out of here.